continuing to move along here, and I'm putting the front suspension parts together, as well as get the rear suspension parts ready to paint. So there's the rear suspension ready to paint, and what I did is kind of constructed all that and then put it in here to make sure everything is going to fit, so to test fit. And I'm glad I did, because I had that one crossbar upside down. I didn't realize those went between where that axle is, so to speak. But now that I have it right, all of this just fits perfectly. This is a really nice kit. So I've got all that, so now I'll pop, that white unpainted part off and paint that the semi-gloss black. I went with flat black on the bottom, testers. Just regular testers paint, flat black, and I think that came out nice. All right, I have the next color down, and again, I just went with the testers. This is the semi-gloss black, and did all the suspension, that rear axle, foot pedals, the battery, and then inside the tailpiece there, as well as inside the dashboard, which, then I'll come back with the green on that and come back with the green on the bottom of that tailpiece. And this drive shaft, I did it in this black, but I may come back and do that in the titanium just to give it a little differentiation. So speaking of the green, my scale finishes paints arrived, and so this is the primer and that medium green. And then they also send a sanding pad. I guess that's a 2000 grit sanding pad, and some spoons probably to do a test on, and a few droppers. And so here's all the parts waiting for the green. So I'm going to start, these parts are ready. I got to get this ready, reverse that masking from having done the inside of that, and then cut those out. And then I'll be ready for the green. And then speaking of things arriving, so I got my decals for the dials and on eBay, and this Mall's World, I've gotten quite a few things from them. He's a pretty good vendor on eBay. He's got all kinds of cool stuff, so get a chance, go check that guy out. So I have these for the dashboard, and I'll be putting those on when I get to them. And like I said, it has the dials as well as some, radios. We'll see if that'll work for my dashboard. And then I had another arrival. This is the Oshima 1-12 Honda Monkey. I saw this on Amazon, I want to say 8 months ago. And then 2 weeks later, they're like, oh, the shipping is delayed. Do you still want it? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I still want it. Then 2 months after that, they said, oh, we're going to deliver it. And then another 2 weeks after that, oh, the shipping is delayed. And so it's been months, and I kind of forgot all about it. And all of a sudden yesterday, it just shows up. So I'm going to add this to the motorcycle stash. And then as long as I'm opening up things that arrived in the mail, I've got a couple of mail calls here. The first one is from Old Tom, Christmas card from him, and thank you for the card and the kind words inside. I love Tom's cards. And he builds these, as you probably well know. He likes these 1930s hot rods, and this is just awesome. Santa and a reindeer looking back at the cop chasing them. So Tom, thank you so much. And I have to say, Tom comments on damn near every single one of my videos, and I really appreciate that and really appreciate the support. So thank you very much, Tom. And then another one here from Charlie Mack, and again, an awesome card with a looks like pickup truck there. And Charlie, same to you. Thank you so much for the kind words inside, and Merry Christmas to you and Mrs. Mack. And we've got another Christmas card just came in, and it's from Skip over at Skip-O-Matic's Model Mania. Seasoned greetings from Skip, Earl, and JD. And he's got a crazy looking Santa and a awesome hot rod there. So that's just an awesome card, and thank you so much, Skip. And again, if you haven't been to Skip's channel, just definitely go check it out. Skip-O-Matic's Model Mania. Thanks again, Skip. So I'm starting to mask for the green, and I've got the interior masked off. Those rear speakers, I did the back black and then masked those off. And then the seats, the dashboard, and then I'm working over here. I'm gonna do this hood next. Sanded this and buffed this all out. There was a few flaws or imperfections back here around the rear window. I think I've got that all fixed now. And then these straps that hold the gas tank, I did those in steel, as well as, I don't know if you could see it here, but this line running back. And I'm probably going to dry brush underneath there. I've got this done now. That's the rear taillight section. And then I completed painting the mufflers and tailpipes. There was a lot of seam marks that I had to fix on that. So next I'll be doing the green. So the last thing I was waiting for has arrived, this pre-wired distributor with the yellow wires. So I think I have everything I need to finish now. So I'll paint the green, and then while the green is drying, I'll install this onto the engine. All right, I just spent the better part of an hour slowly but surely bending this, heating it, then bending it, heating, bending, test fit, heating, bending, test fit. And I think I have it where it needs to be. See, ever so slightly still. When I push here, it lifts up there, but that's okay, because then once that front piece is in there, I think that'll hold that level, so to speak. So that took a while, but I think I got it. I put those hinges in there, so if you can see that hinge there and that hinge there, I glued those to the hood and then put them in there. So yeah, I think that fit is pretty good now. And then I'll let those hinges dry to the hood before I pull that back apart and then paint everything separately. All right, last thing I have to mask before I can start on the scale finishes primer is this hood, and you can see these hinges have now dried on there. So I'm just going to mask this, I guess it's a soundproofing pad on the hood here, and then I can start in on the primer and the green. Okay, there we go. We got the hood done and got all these pieces ready to go. I just have to buff these out. Got all these pieces ready to go. I've got the interior ready to go, and I've got the body ready to go. I'm just gonna do one final light sanding. Probably, buff it out with the Ultimate buffer, get that finish all nice and clean, and then start in on the primer and follow up with the medium green on the outside. Now, what I did, this is a gloss, and on that interior, I don't necessarily want it to be a gloss. So I actually got a couple of different greens here. So I have a deep green, a NATO green, and a JA green. I'm not exactly sure what that is. So I'm going to do, after I shake this up, I'm going to do a comparison and see which one's kind of the closest. And I'm okay if they're off just a little bit from each other, because I don't necessarily want the whole thing to be so monochromatic. And but this will give me a duller finish on the inside, which, I think is appropriate. So that's the approach I'm going to take on this. And I actually think this is probably a good stopping point. I want to get this video out and make sure I get those Christmas card shout outs out in a timely manner. So next time then I'll pick up with the painting and hopefully complete the car. So as always, I hope you found that interesting, and thanks for watching, and happy modeling.